Hello and welcome to another episode of Codo Cinema, the podcast show where I talk about movies. I'm your host, the man, the myth, the legend, the holly, the jolly, Mark Codo, aka Codo Man. Well, we have another exciting episode for Codo Cinema Christmas Month, and this is episode 121. I can't believe I'm reaching over 120 episodes already. Well, now with 121 episodes. I mean, isn't that exciting? So, anyway, to continue Codo Cinema Christmas Month, I would like to talk about another Christmas movie. Well, what Christmas movie am I going to talk about this time? Well, how about The Grinch? Am I talking about the 1967 original, or the 2000 Jim Carrey version, or the 2018 Grinch film? I'm going to be talking about the 2018 Grinch film. Now, I'm just gonna be honest with you. This is the third adaptation of this is the third on-screen adaptation of the story Dr. Seuss' How the Grinch Stole Christmas, which was based on the 1966. I mean 1966, but I thought it was 1967, but it was based on the 1966 television special starring Boris Karloff and the 2000 live-action version directed by Ron Howard, starring Jim Carrey as the title character. But also knowing the fact that this is based off the book of Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. So anyway, this film, distributed by Universal Pictures for the second time, but this time distributed by Illumination Studios, which is very well known for releasing the Despicable Me films, The Secret Life of Pets, and Sing films, just to name a few. Now, now with an upcoming Mario film starring Chris Pratt, which will be coming out in 2023. Prior to that, Dr. Seuss's The Grinch is a 2018 computer animated Christmas fantasy comedy film, and is directed by Scott Moiser and Yarl Chaney in the former's feature directorial debut, with Chris Meledandri, who is one of the head producers of Illumination Studios, producing the film. The film stars Benedict Cumberbatch, Rashida Jones, Kenan Thompson, Angela Lansbury, and of course Pharrell Williams, with Pharrell Williams serving as the narrator. And of course, the plot of this film follows the exact same thing in the book, and of course the live-action Jim Carrey Grinch. The plot follows the Grinch and his pet dog Max as they plan to stop Whoville's Christmas celebration by stealing all the town's decorations and gifts. Now, yes, that is definitely the same plot, but it does take a bit of a different direction of adding in new material that people like or dislike, or people like or do not like. And I'll be honest, according to the mixed reviews, because this film got mixed reviews from critics, while praising the animation and the vocal performances, many people thought the film added little or nothing new to the source material. Now, when I saw this film for the first time, I saw this in theaters, and I was actually 20 years old at the time. It came out in 2018, so I was 20 years old at the time. My twin brother and we actually went to see this film in theaters, and I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, I liked the animation, and I thought the vocal performances were pretty good. And at the time, first time watching it, I thought Benedict Cumberbatch voicing the Grinch was actually pretty good. But knowing the fact that I thought Benedict Cumberbatch was an excellent choice for the Grinch. Even when the film was in development, Illumination originally wanted Benedict Cumberbatch to voice the Grinch, and in fact, Benedict Cumberbatch was Illumination's top choice to play the title character of the Grinch. And in fact, one I didn't even realize this, and I went back to watch this film multiple times over the years since the film was released, that the Grinch's voice was a little different. like it didn't sound like Benedict Cumberbatch's voice. It sounded like Benedict Cumberbatch trying to do a different accent. Like, what accent is this? Well, it turns out it was more an American accent, because obviously I think the reason behind this is the fact that the reason behind it is because the rest of the cast members of this film, the cast members that I mentioned, such as Rashida Jones, Keenan Thompson, and Pharrell Williams, since they're definitely Americans, since the rest of the cast are definitely Americans, and particularly for some of the supporting characters too, Benedict Cumberbatch thought that he should do an American accent. Now, I can see where he was going with it, but if he stuck it out with a British accent, like what Boris Karloff did in the 1966 animated original, I think it would have worked. Now, I don't mind different takes on the accent. Fine. I mean, that's fine. But when you realize what you're hearing in the Grinch sounds something like it sounded to me. I mean, the accent sounded so inconsistent. Let's just say that. Very inconsistent, because there are times that you can hear the different voice changes. Like, sometimes like the voice is on point, other times it's not. Like, it sounds like it's basically a whiny American accent, and it really sounds inconsistent. Sometimes you definitely do pick up a little bit of the British accent somewhere down the road, like where Benedict Cumberbatch drops the American accent a little bit, but then it picks it up for the rest of the film, where you still hear more of his of the American accent. Now, if there was a better film where Benedict Cumberbatch did a better American accent, in my opinion, it would be Doctor Strange. In the Doctor Strange films, I thought Benedict Cumberbatch's American accent was a lot better in those films compared to the Grinch. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, I love Benedict Cumberbatch, and in my opinion, given for what he was given, I believe he did a pretty good job acting out the role, despite the American accent that he was trying to deliver in this film. Now, Benedict Cumberbatch has done vocal roles before. Like, he voiced Smaug, the dragon from the Hobbit films, including the Necromancer, also known as Sauron, in the Hobbit films as well. He even played I'm trying to think. It was in the Penguins of Madagascar film. He played I'm pretty sure it was a husky dog named Classified. Although I'm not really, I don't remember it was a husky dog or a wolf, but I remember it was Benedict Cumberbatch playing that character in that film. But also a little fun fact: he voiced Dormammu in the first Doctor Strange film. Just to throw it out there. And of course, he's also well known for playing Sherlock Holmes in the Sherlock Holmes TV show on BBC with Martin Freeman. Just to name it, just to throw it out there and name a few roles. But other than that, what did I think about the film? Now, the film, like I said, I'm pretty sure I mentioned it. I thought the film was okay, despite the mixed reviews. And on top of that, the animation for this film, I will say this, it is beautiful animation. Coming from Illumination, Illumination Studios did a very good job on the animation, and it really has that very light heart feel, Christmas and feel, and of course a Christmas feel to it, because the original Dr. Seuss How the Grinch Stole Christmas, it was hand-drawn animation, and it was beautiful. This one, even though it's CGI animation, it still looks good, and it has that Christmas feel. Particularly the fact that this is in Whoville, and it's very good. I liked it. I mean, come on. At least the CGI animation from Illumination Studios is better than some of Disney's latest animated films, and I mean some. But anyway, I mean, basically, I already mentioned the point of the story. Like, the film does take liberties of like the Grinch, like being more annoyed than grumpy. Because if you look at the previous two films, like both Jim Carrey and Boris Karloff, I mean, well, mostly Boris Karloff. Boris Karloff's Grinch was very, very grumpy and, of course, annoyed at the same time, too, by the fact that the Whovilles are celebrating Christmas. And, of course, Jim Carrey's Grinch, he's a lot more annoyed in that one, too, but the humor does get into it, too. The same can be said with Benedict Cumberbatch's Grinch, but it turns out, we find out in the film that the Grinch wants to be a part of this Christmas, be a part of the Christmas tradition with the Who's, because there was a flashback scene where the Grinch is young, and he's at an orphanage, so basically in this film, in the 2018 film, the Grinch was started off at an orphanage where no one was there to take care of him, and then he suddenly leaves the orphanage and walks off to Mount Crumpet. Now, somehow compared to the 2000 version with Jim Carrey, the Grinch left Whoville because all the Who's at his school were mocking him during a Christmas present pass along, and he shaved, but he was mocked by the classmates, and this was around Christmas time. Well, almost all of his classmates, because one of the students turned out to be the Grinch's love interest at the very end of the film, who felt very sorry for the Grinch. But the fact is in the Jim Carrey version, we get a reason. It's a pretty good and somehow better reason why the Grinch hated Christmas. He was mocked, ridiculed by his classmates because of the fact he was peer pressured to shave his beard. Although I could barely see the Grinch's beard. I mean, to be fair, to be quite honest. But even in the original left it a mystery to how and why the Grinch hated Christmas. And the 2018 film, I will say this, it is a nice addition, but the way how Pharrell Williams was narrating this, but first of all, shout out to Pharrell Williams. He did a very good job narrating the film, but some of the narrating from the film, particularly during the Grinch's flashback sequence to how and why he hated Christmas, it really didn't feel consistent. Because if you watch that scene, you watch that entire sequence, I should say, of how the Grinch hated Christmas, how and why, like the Grinch is sad. The Grinch as a child was sad, and who wants to check out Christmas, but somehow he's sad, knowing the fact that no one was there to take care of him, which is and then while the music is going on of Welcome to Christmas, which is basically a recomposed version of Welcome to Christmas for the original. This time around being composed by Danny Elfman. It really shows you. It kind of bothers me a bit to the fact that the Grinch in the 2018 film was not taken care of, and leaves and just leaves. He just leaves, and he just leaves Christmas. He just leaves the Whoville because nobody would take care of him. He wasn't even mocked. He was just sad. The Grinch was just sad, and of course you do get the lines from the book. Because you get the lines from the book, and they sing, Yeah, and then later on, he gets the plot rolling that he wants to steal Christmas along with Max. And I'll be honest with you, the Grinch likes Max. I mean, he's not even being he's not being a jerk towards Max. Although of course, yeah, there was definitely one moment where he was while he was playing the organ. But even the original, but even then, like, I will say this, I mean, it did feel nice to know that the Grinch was being nice to Max throughout the majority of the film. And of course, I'm gonna jump into the supporting characters. Cindy Lou Who is a nice little Cindy Lou Who is basically energetic in that film compared to the other two adaptations. She has her mom and two brothers, and I don't know what happened to the father in that film. I mean, that was left out of the question. And of course, the Grinch actually gets a connection with one of the Who's that is being voiced by Keenan Thompson. And what was his name? What was Keenan Thompson's character? Bricklebomb. Somehow, Bricklebomb lives near the Grinch, surprisingly, and I will admit, Bricklebomb and the Grinch having that having that sort of connection is actually pretty clever. I think it only happened during one scene, but then like once to the end of the film, they start to grow a connection. The same could be said with Cindy Lou Who's mom. But I do like part of the plot where Cindy wants to help her mom, like ask Santa to help her mom, which is actually pretty nice. But also at the same time, Cindy Lou does bail out on her mother multiple times in that film, and I mean, following the book a little bit towards the end, the Grinch does steal Christmas in the 2018 film. I mean, he does it in fun, creative ways while using gadgets. But there was definitely a moment in that part where he comes across a sleepwalking who is trying to get milk. But in my mind, I was like, shouldn't the Grinch steal that because he stole ice cubes in the original, so why didn't the Grinch steal that? And on top of that, he encounters Cindy Lou Who three times in this film. The first time was when Cindy Lou was trying to deliver her letter to the mailman. It was Santa's letter. She tried to deliver it to the mailman, but bumps into the Grinch. I mean, she doesn't recognize him. Not even the Grinch was like, "What is wrong with you? Did you see me?" Like if I was there, I would have been splattered. Yeah, yeah. And then the second time around was when the Grinch was being Santa Claus. She doesn't even recognize the Grinch. And the fact is, oh, even though she thinks the Grinch is Santa, and then the third time around, that was at the end, where the Cindy Lou Who introduces herself to the Grinch, and I was like, okay, so this is the third. That was like the third time. Like the Grinch should have, no, actually no. Cindy and the Grinch should have like recognized each other. Oy. Is there any other character I'm missing? Oh, I know a character. Fred. Fred the reindeer. Now, the addition of having Fred the reindeer was actually funny. Like, because the Grinch was trying to look for reindeer along with Max the dog. And going off topic, I'm pretty sure that was Max's original design. If you look at the design of Max in the Grinch film, I'm gonna take a wild guess that was the original design for Max for Secret Life of Pets. I'm just throwing it out there. So while the two were looking for reindeers, they encounter a goat who screams so loud it scares off the reindeers. Only left while the other reindeer was left there. It was Fred the reindeer, and then the Grinch makes makes a joke like, "Wow, he might have ate the other Santa Claus." Like, yeah, Fred is Fred the reindeer just let himself go. Let's just say that. And I do like how the Grinch bonds a good connection with Fred. Like, it's hard not to deny that because it is nice to know that in this version that the Grinch wants to make some friends. I mean, that's fine. I mean, that's fine. I mean, I didn't mind that. And and then he lets Fred go like 10 minutes later. About 10 minutes later, 10 or 15 minutes later, he lets Fred go to his family, and then it was just him, and then it was just the Grinch and Max for a while, for the rest of the film, and of course, of course, what else? Okay, going to the end of the film when he's on top of Mount Crumpet, about to destroy the gifts and presents. Like he hears the Who's singing welcome welcome Christmas, although it's a different version. And then you get the part where his heart grows three sizes that day. The Grinch is basically happy, but somehow almost loses the gifts, and then tries to do this, and then tries to get the gifts. And then somehow, what was different in that film compared to the other two films, the Grinch doesn't do the strength of 10 Grinches plus 2. Because I actually don't know the reason why the writers did not do that sequence. Because that would have been a pretty cool sequence, especially in an animated film by Illumination Studios. Now, to be fair, I guess you can make the argument that it was hinted during that scene. Like, you do see the Grinch feet attaching the sleigh, like trying to keep the sleigh from falling. I guess you could make the argument that it was there, but but you barely see it because it's like a blink you'll miss moment where he's trying to hang on to the sleigh while using his feet and grappling hook to get back on top of Mount Crumpet. But then it was Fred and his family trying to help the Grinch, which is fine, but when you really think about it, it's really, it's just like, you see the other two films, how, like, the Grinch was able to lift that sleigh with the strength of 10 Grinches plus 2. I mean, that's just my thing. That's just my opinion on that. I didn't really like it at first because it came out as a surprise. Like, that moment alone came out as a surprise where Fred rescues the Grinch instead of like the Grinch using his strength of 10 Grinches. Like I didn't really like that part at first. But looking back at that scene, it's not that bad. It's really not bad. Like it's actually fine because when you realize that the Grinch grew a pretty good friendship with Fred, you kind of get the point. But anyway, later down the line, towards the end of the film, the Grinch does go for a Christmas dinner at Cindy Lou Who's house, and that is a pretty good scene. It was a good scene to know that the Grinch is like coming to the house, introducing himself to the people, while also rekindling with a Brinkle Bomb, and of course enjoying Christmas dinner, which is actually a pretty good ending until the very end where we get the goat screaming, and then the credits roll. Yeah, you get a pretty good ending, which is basically being ended by a goat screaming. Yeah. Oh, did I mention that Tyler the Creator did a Grinch rap in this film? Did I? No, I didn't. No, I did not, because there was an actual Grinch rap of "You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch," and that is definitely true. That is definitely true because Tyler, yeah, because that Tyler the Creator did a Grinch rap for the 2018 Grinch film based off of "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch," and of course Danny Elfman also did an orchestral arrangement for that song too. And also on top of that, there was another song that Tyler the Creator also wrote for the film, titled "I Am the Grinch," which was also played. Which I'm pretty sure that was played during the credit sequence. So yeah, but and on top of that, I also wanted to mention the fact that the mayor of Whoville is played by Angela Lansbury, because the reason why I want to bring this up, because in the original Grinch, well, actually not the original Grinch, the 2000 Grinch had a mayor being played by Jeffrey Tambor, and now the mayor is being played or voiced by the late great Angela Lansbury, and it was only for a brief. It was only for a brief moment, because the mayor of Whoville was overseeing the tree light, the Christmas tree ceremony, lighting the Christmas tree, and that was like during the moment prior to the moment of where the Grinch is having a flashback. So yeah, but other than that, um, I still think I still think this film is pretty good. I mean, it is not perfect. I wouldn't say the 2018 Grinch film is perfect, but at the same time, it does feel a little safe. I mean, which is fine. I mean, it does have its fun moments, and on top of that, it is a fine Christmas film. Now, do I believe it's better than the 2000 version? Well, in my opinion, I still believe the 2000 Grinch live action Grinch film with Jim Carrey was a lot better than the Illumination film, because for because of the fact that not only did that film st- was a lot closer to the book despite adding elements to it, but I had a lot more fun with that film, and Jim Carrey was a lot of fun in that film. I mean, I like Benedict Cumberbatch in this film, but at the same time, looking back at it, the accent was very inconsistent, and a little bit of the writing was all over the place. But I still had a lot of fun with that film too, and it really does. I mean, particularly from Illumination. Now, this is now going back to the accent part, Benedict Cumberbatch's accent. This is what has me worried for the upcoming Mario film from Illumination, because Chris Pratt, who is voicing Mario, he is voicing in I believe it's a Brooklyn accent. I did an episode where I talked about three different movie trailers. One of them being the Mario film that is coming out, where we hear a glimpse of Chris Pratt's voice as Mario, and it sounded more like his voice, but it was hinted of a Brooklyn accent. And then, because the other trailer just dropped a few weeks ago, where we do hear Chris Pratt talking more, and it sounds like a Brooklyn accent a bit, with two voices saying "let's go," and then the woohoo woohoo, that part, and that was during the trailer. So it looks like Chris Pratt is doing a Brooklyn accent. So I believe Chris Pratt's going for a Brooklyn accent, but will it work? Will Chris Pratt's voice be okay for this film? And then that's why I'm connecting that with Benedict Cumberbatch's voice as the Grinch, because Benedict Cumberbatch did an American accent, which sounds very inconsistent in that film, which has me worried the fact that will Mario's voice be similar, or will it be similar to what the Benedict Cumberbatch did as the Grinch, or will Chris Pratt actually pull it off and do a very good voiceover performance for Mario in the Super Mario Bros. Film? I don't know. I mean, we'll probably find out once the film comes out in 2023. But other than that, I mean, what are your thoughts on the 2018 Grinch film? I mean, did you like the film? Did you like Did you like the film? Did you thought the film was okay? Did you think it was better than the live action 2000 Grinch film starring Jim Carrey. I mean, let me know your thoughts. I mean, let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in to Codo Cinema. I'm your host, Mark Codo, aka Codo Man. Remember to watch movies and stay positive.